You know, when we look at the market, the price is the first thing that always grabs our attention. But what if I told you there's another number, one that's often overlooked, that tells the real story? Today, we're going to dive into how to decode what the market is truly telling us, all by looking at trading volume.
Okay, picture this. You've got a stock in your portfolio and one morning, boom, it's soaring. Your first reaction is excitement, right? But then that little voice of doubt creeps in. Is this for real? Is this thing gonna last, or is it about to come crashing down? How can you possibly know?
Well, the answer, or at least a massive clue, is often hiding in plain sight. It's a number that shows you the conviction behind that price move. And that number is trading volume.
All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How can you actually use this to figure out if a trend has legs? We're about to explore how volume acts like a window into the market's true feelings.
Think about it this way. At its very core, trading volume is all about conviction. If a stock's price shoots up and a ton of people are trading it, that shows some serious support, a real groundswell. But if that same price jump happens with only a handful of trades, that's a totally different story. It could be a really misleading picture, a huge sign of weakness.
Okay, I might be getting ahead of myself. Before we go any further, what exactly is trading volume? The absolute best way to think about it is like measuring the size of the crowd at a concert or a game. So the technical definition is pretty straightforward. It's just the total number of shares that get bought and sold during a certain time frame, usually a single day. Every buy, every sell, it all gets added up. It's a direct count of how much action, how much interest a stock is getting.
And this is where that whole crowd size thing really starts to make sense. High volume? That's like the deafening roar of a packed stadium after a game-winning goal. It's a clear signal that tons of people agree on this new price. Now, low volume? That's more like a few people murmuring in the corner. Sure, the price is moving, but the tiny crowd tells you there's no real conviction, no widespread agreement.
All right, so we've got the concept down. Now for the fun part. Let's see how this actually plays out in the real world. We're going to look at two key scenarios that you will see happen all the time.
First up, we have what is pretty much the best-case scenario for any investor. We'll call it the confirmed trend. This is when the price and the volume are basically singing the same song, telling you a really strong, really positive story. So what does this actually look like on a chart? Well, first you see the stock's price start to climb, and climb sharply. But here's the key. At the exact same time, you see the trading volume bar getting bigger and bigger, way above its normal average. That combination right there, that is a super powerful signal. The big crowd is confirming the price move. It suggests there's real momentum and broad support to keep it going. The whole stadium is on its feet cheering.
Okay, but what about the flip side? What about the scenario that should make you hit the brakes and really, really take a closer look? I call this one the questionable trend.
Now in this case, the stock price is still shooting up. Looks great on the surface, right? But then you glance down at the volume, and it's tiny. It might even be getting smaller. That, my friends, is a major red flag. It tells you that this price move has almost no support behind it. It's that quiet murmur we talked about. It's a huge warning sign that this trend is weak and could completely fall apart at any moment.
Now the best part about all this? This isn't some secret inside information that's only for the pros on Wall Street. Nope, this data is out there for all of us to see. So the big question is, where do you actually find it? Okay, for your day-to-day stuff, you've got a ton of great free options. Yahoo Finance is probably the easiest place to start. It's right there on the chart. The Wall Street Journal is another solid choice, and they have some good historical data too. And hey, if you're looking at a stock on the New York Stock Exchange, you can go right to the source and check their website for the official numbers.
If you want to zoom out and look at longer-term trends, you can find weekly and even monthly data on sites like financialpost.com or marketvalue.com. Now, just a heads up, the basic stuff is usually free, but if you want to do a really deep dive into historical data, some of these sites might ask for a paid membership.
So, let's pull all these pieces together. We know what volume is, we know the key scenarios, and we know where to find the data. How does this fit into the big picture of being a smarter investor?
You know, there's a quote from Investopedia that just nails it. It says, "Understanding trading volume can complete the picture." And that's exactly right. This isn't about replacing your other research. It's about adding a crucial layer of context to it so you can make much more informed decisions.
Look, let's be clear. Volume is not a magic crystal ball.
It's not going to predict the future with 100% accuracy, but what it is an absolutely critical piece of the puzzle. Once you learn to read the story that volume is telling you, you'll be so much better at judging the real strength of a market trend, and that ultimately helps you make much smarter decisions.
So I want to leave you with a question to take with you. The very next time you see a stock making a big move, doesn't matter if it's up or down, promise me you won't just look at the price. Take a second, glance down, and look at the crowd size. Ask yourself, what story is the volume really telling me?